Over the past few years, we have had many a Star Wars stories, such as Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Solo, a Star Wars story. And this summer, we're finally giving the fans what they want. Introducing Jar Jar, a Star Wars story. We can finally figure out where our favorite Star Wars character came from. Ever wonder why Jar Jar did this? This movie has answers. You want to know how Jar Jar learned how to swim? That'll probably be answered.
I don't think anyone wants that movie.
Are you being serious? Are you sure?
Yeah, I think we could probably think of a better, Star Wars story. Um, yeah.
Well, I guess if no one wants to watch the movie, we can think of a new one. Let's start this over. Over the past few years, we have had many a Star Wars stories, such as Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Solo, a Star Wars story. And this summer, we're finally giving the fans what they want. Introducing Dexter Jettster, a Star Wars story. In this movie, we can finally see why Dexter owns his diner. Throughout the film, Dexter will finally explain why and how he has a mustache. Ever wonder why Dexter laughs like this? Well, it's a pretty funny story.
Yeah, I think this is like the same thing with the Jar Jar story. I don't think anyone wants a story about Dexter.
That seems really weird because I know at least 10 people whose favorite character is Dexter, but I guess we'll give it another shot. Over the past few years, we have had many a Star Wars stories, such as Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Solo, a Star Wars story. And this summer, we're finally giving the fans what they want. Introducing Lobot, a Star Wars story. Ever wonder what happens when Lobot turns off? Well, we can probably think of a few good ideas. You will want to be first in line for this movie. It's the character everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I don't want to be like the guy that constantly is telling you that we don't want these movies, but I don't think we want a Lobot movie. Maybe just instead of going through the whole thing over again, maybe just do some rapid fire characters. I don't know.
Alright, I guess we can just give it a shot. Introducing IG-88, a Star Wars story. Mauler Myth-L, a Star Wars story. Greedo, a Star Wars story. R5-D4, a Star Wars story. Jawas, literally all the Jawas, a Star Wars story. Cassio Tej, a Star Wars story. Nia Nub, a Star Wars story. Kionde Munde, a Star Wars story. General Akbar, a Star Wars story. Star Trek, a Star Wars story. Kit Fisto, a Star Wars story. Anakin's mom, I don't know her name, and we didn't do enough research, a Star Wars story. Jack Tano Porkins, a Star Wars story. Quackian Monkey Lizard, a Star Wars story. Sonic the Hedgehog, a Star Wars story. Sebulba, a Star Wars story. Elon Sleaza Bagano, a Star Wars story. Bib Fortuna, a Star Wars story. The guy that tells R2-D2 and C-3PO to leave the cantina, a Star Wars story. Incredibles 2, a Star Wars story. Fergan Dan and the Model Nodes, a Star Wars story. Wampa, just Wampa, a Star Wars story. And finally, the one everybody's been waiting for, Star Wars, a Star Wars story.
Yeah, I don't think you know anything about this franchise.